Look, yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck.
And we're live. Welcome back to Uncomfortable Combos. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And welcome back to another episode. Thank you guys for always tuning in every week. You guys are, the support that you give me is unbelievable. And I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys, wherever you guys are listening to this. If you can give us a thumbs up or a 5-star review, it would go a long way. Thank you. And shout out to the sponsor, Naughty Science. If you guys need some tools for those home experiments, do a little bit of research, science experiments, naughtyscience.com. Trust me, we got all sorts of stuff on there that you guys are really going to enjoy with your partner. That way you guys can keep your intimacy with your partner alive and healthy. Okay, so if you look at the description down below, there is a discount code for you guys, especially for the podcast. So definitely go check it out. Now, we're into 2025, a little over halfway, August, 8 months in. And I kind of wanted to do a check-in to see where everybody was at, right? If you're talking to somebody, if you're currently with somebody, I think it's time to reevaluate or just evaluate your relationship, not reevaluate, but evaluate your relationship and, what you should do going forward. Like, is this something that you guys are both, like, are they interested? Are you interested? And is the relationship going in the right direction? So that's why your boy is here to help you out with this stuff. So I'm going to give you the 10 different things that maybe you should go over with your partner just to make sure, hey, we're in a good, solid relationship here. So I think there's no specific order, but one of the huge ones overall, I think would be, if you had to rank it, this would probably be number one, right? Communication flow. Are you guys both open and honest, or do you feel like you're walking on eggshells anytime you have to bring something up? If the communication is natural, solutions are focused on, going good. If every convo turns into conflict or silence, red flag. How is your guys' communication? Not just with arguing, just overall. Do you guys talk about things? Are you guys able to resolve things? Are you guys able to hey, this is the problem, this is what's going on, and being able, because that's how you're gonna know if things that bug each other. Don't be afraid to bring something up to somebody that you're with, because the worst thing you can do is not say anything and just assume and hope that things are gonna change. And when they don't, you get upset that they don't change, and that's because you never brought anything up. So, or if you want certain things in a relationship, you're looking for a certain type of partner, communication, intimacy-wise, the only way you're going to get these things across is not just assuming, is bringing things up, talking to them. Hey, let's try this. Hey, let's do this. Just able to communicate in every aspect of your guys' relationship. Not, the intimacy level, just the boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife level. Maybe parents, if you guys are parents, the parent level, if you guys are able to do that. If you guys are business owners, like if you guys work together, are you guys able to communicate and keep business and pleasure separate? When you guys are arguments, are you willing? Can you guys communicate and figure things out? Because horrible communication is just going to lead to a bad relationship, a bad marriage, and essentially, separate you guys. So 8 months in, even if I'm just going from the beginning of the year, where you were at relationship wise, or if you started a relationship in the past few months, where you are in that relationship, and so is your communication, like I said, this is kind of like a halfway checkup. How is your communication with your partner? Do you wish it could be better? Do you wish that you could bring certain things up? Do you wish that you could tell them how you feel intimacy-wise? Maybe they're lacking in the bedroom. Maybe they need something. Can you bring it up? And if you can't, why can't you? You need to tell yourself, why can't you bring something up to that person? What is holding you back? Are you afraid of losing them? Are you afraid of an argument? Are you afraid, what are you afraid of? Because the person that you're with should be open and willing to talk about these things, no matter what it is. Okay. So communication flow is huge. And And like I said, if one had to be a top one, it would be this one, because a lot of things get misconstrued, or you just assume things just because you didn't want to bring certain things up. Some of the TikToks that I get is, hey, when should I bring up this? Or when should I say this? And there's no right answer. But if you feel like asking that person a question or getting to know something about them, just bring it up. If it makes them run away, they were eventually going to run away. They're eventually going to find a reason to leave. We just expedited that service, or that, that exit, I should say. And so don't ever be afraid to bring something up. And especially in the beginning, when you can bring something up in the beginning, then you're more than likely going to set that foundation, that communication foundation, that it's okay to talk about these things, no matter how uncomfortable it can get. So communication flow, huge. Pay attention to where yours is at, and like really dig deep and figure out you. The second one that I have, again, these are no specific order. Trust level. Do you feel secure in the relationship, or do you have doubts constantly creep in? Trust, solid foundation. Jealousy, lies, or secrecy. It might be time to go. Now, would you want to be in a relationship where you're constantly feeling like this person is doing some shady stuff, or giving you reasons not to trust them? Have they cheated on you and you gave them another chance, and they continue to give you reasons or feelings that they're continuing to do whatever they were doing before, right? Because again, once that trust level is gone, it's probably going to be very hard to bring that back. And especially if they stepped out of the relationship, or if they're not letting you feel communicating well with you to the point where you can trust this person. Now, there's a difference between being insecure and, a bad level of jealousy. Because when it gets to that point, if you get jealous over everybody, you're insecure about everything, that's more of an issue that you need to deal within, maybe with some therapy, some counseling, something like that. But if it's your person's actions that are making you feel like that, that's something that you need to talk to your person. Again, communication, we going back. But you should be able to trust your person. I want to be with somebody I can trust. If you feel like you can't trust them, why would you want to live in that type of situation? For example, like when some of you guys catch your person cheating, why would you want to be in a relationship where in the back of your head, you're constantly feeling, are they still talking to that person? Do they even love me? Do they even like me? Like, what is going on here? Like, this is why you need to ask yourself these questions, because do you want to be in that type of relationship? A relationship, again, they're not 100% perfect. Issues, every relationship there's ups and downs, pros and cons. People argue, people fight. It happens. It's normal. But there is a toxic level there, and there is a bad level of this stuff. And if your person has constantly cheated on you and giving you those reasons, why do you stick around, right? Like, why do you stick around with this person? So definitely pay attention, especially up to now in your relationship. Do you trust this person? If not, why don't you trust this person? And if you don't trust this person, why do you continue to stay with this person? Really ask yourself these questions, because we got to ask ourselves these difficult questions ourselves, because I know it's not something that you want to think of or something that you want to have a conversation of. That's why a lot of guys will maybe even ghost just to avoid to have these hard conversations, because it's so much easier not to have them and then just assume. And then when it goes not the way you want, I'm pretty sure a lot of people say, dang, I wish I would have said something. I wish I would have brought it up. Now it's a little too late to bring it up. So pay attention to your trust level and the reasons why. And hey, like, if you don't trust this person fully, and if they keep continuing giving you reasons not to trust them, ask yourself why you're still in that relationship. Really ask yourself. Not just be like, hey, why am I in this? No. Be like, what is keeping me here? And is it a positive? Most likely it's not going to be. Like, if you say you're staying because of the kids, not a positive, right? Because now you're just showing them that it's okay to be in a toxic environment. This is how you should be treated. Your kids pay attention. So definitely pay attention. Trust, another big one, okay? Where's your trust in your relationship? And again, none of these, you're going to be 100% perfect on all of them. I'm not saying here go through and score everything. I'm saying like once you hear one of these, think about your current relationship, situationship, or whatever is going on, marriage, and see like if this is something that is a problem in your relationship. The next one I have is shared vision for the future. Are your goals aligning? Meaning like kids, lifestyle, money, career, location, like where you guys live at. If you're both building towards something together, if your visions clash, neither will budge. You know, like if you want to do this, they want to do this, and you're constantly headbutting. Like if you're both hard headed and like, oh, my career is more important than your career, you know, like something like that. Like it could be an issue. So, what are you guys' goals together? And we're not just talking about, yes, we're talking about kids. Are you with somebody who wants kids and you're maybe a little bit older and you can't have kids? Because them wanting kids is not going to go away. I'll tell you that right now. So eventually they might even just leave you to be with somebody who can give them kids, because they'll use that as an excuse to be like, well, it's because I really want to have kids or something, right? No, this is why you get to know your person. Lifestyle. This is a huge one for me because I'm not a huge partier. Every now and then I'll go out, have fun, you know, have a good time. There's nothing wrong with that. But do you see me doing that every fucking weekend? Absolutely not. Do I want to be with somebody who does that every weekend? Absolutely not. That is not my thing. That is not what I want to be. Like, if we can't just go out and hang out and do some things, and you're looking forward to the weekend just to go out and party and drink and have like do that stuff, we're probably not gonna align on certain things. You know, again, it's okay to go out every now and then to go and do that. But if that's something, because we all know there's a lot of people out there that's what they want. They just want to go out, party, have fun. Like, they don't want to focus on a career. They don't want to focus on any type of goals. They don't have any vision. They don't have any drive for anything. Yeah, definitely not for me. So, and then money is another thing, because depending on your relationship, it could be a problem. For example, some of you ladies just let some guys get away with you paying for everything. You know, he makes me pay for everything. Like, I pay for this, I pay for. Why? Leave that man. Get with somebody else. I'm pretty sure there's another man out there that's gonna want to pay these things for you. Meaning, like, not pay him for you, but also help in whatever he can. You know, like, are you guys going, like, when you guys go on dates, do you have to pay every time? Like, that's manly to you? That's okay for you? That's not a red flag to you? Like, why is it that you have to pay every time and he can't pay? What is it? Because he can't afford it? Doesn't have a job? Doesn't have a career? Like, all these things, like, it should be a huge red flag. And depending if their age, if they show up with no car. So that's why I'm saying money in that way. I'm not saying that they have to have a shit ton of money, but do they have a job? Are they career focused? Like, what is going on? What are they doing for money? Because the last thing you would want is to support, say you have kids and this guy. So pay attention to that, and also make sure you guys are building together, like building something together, whether that be a business, whether that be a future with each other. Like, hey, like, this is what our goals are, like, relationship wise. Like, eventually, like, we need to maybe make this happen. You know, get married, or like if you're planning on having kids, when you're planning on having kids, like actually making plans for the future. If everything is just like the following weekend and there's no really long-term goals, does this person really see you long-term? You know, if you're not making goals or plans a few months ahead of time, kind of a red flag, right? Like, they're only the next weekend. Not like, hey, next year, let's try to do this. In a few months, let's try to do this. Or by this time, being together for this long, we should be at this type of level relationship, moved in, married, like whatever the case is. So pay attention to your goals and their goals, and ask yourself right now in your relationship, what are your guys' current goals? Do you guys plan for things in the future? Have you guys talked about kids? Have you guys talked about like careers? Are you guys actually somewhere you want to live in? You know, like, what if he wants to live somewhere else and you want to live somewhere else? Or maybe you're living somewhere where you don't want to live, but they want to live. Like, you know, like, are you guys talking about these things? Are you compromising? Hey, we're going to focus on my career first. You know, like, this is the best way. And then after I get something established, maybe we can move and try to do something different? Or is there any way we can move there and then pick up, our careers there, something like that, talking about it. So evaluate your guys's, you don't even have to ask them, or ask her. Just think about, have we been planning this type of stuff? Have we been talking about this type of stuff? Because just because you guys didn't sit down and physically make goals, it doesn't mean that, there is no goals. Like, hey, in a few years, we're planning on doing this. We're planning for stuff in the future. The next one that I have is effort and energy. Does it feel balanced, or are you the only one putting in the work? Our relationship should be 100-100, not 80-20. If they've stopped trying, it's a sign that the spark is fading. Now, no relationship is 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes one may try out a little harder than the other. Maybe in the beginning, one person tries a little bit harder than the other, and then later, after a while, the other person is trying a little bit more because now you've courted them and now they're actually interested a lot more and want to put in a lot more effort. But if you're into somebody, you should just put in effort. Like, stop putting a number on it. Stop putting it, it should be 80-20. Because if I get 20% of effort from somebody, my ass is out. I'm going to go find somebody who got the other 80 that you're missing. I'm not going to sit here and be like, it has to be 50-50. No. Again, everybody puts in different type of effort and puts in effort in different ways. Now, telling you I'm going to put in effort is definitely a red flag. Are they doing it? That's the biggest thing. Pay attention to 2025. We're in August now. Have they been consistent in putting in effort and energy into you? Because if they haven't, maybe in the beginning, say you started dating somebody in January. We're in August now. It doesn't feel the same. It feels like they don't even try anymore. Red flag, okay? Are they still consistent? Maybe they still are the same way. Just maybe a tad less, just because over a little period of time, of course, you guys get used to each other. So, like, it's not like I'm trying to get you to re-like me because you already like me. It's more of like, hey, now how do I keep you continue to be interested in me, to like me, to keep on liking me? Which, if you already got their attention, yes, it takes a little bit less effort, but it still takes effort, right? So you still gotta try. So pay attention to those things. No, there should be no number on like, I've been trying 80%, and don't be doing things and using it against them, meaning like, I did this and this and this, and they don't even do this. No, you do stuff based off what you feel and what you want to do for that person. And don't be expecting the same that you're doing for them, because maybe their effort comes in different ways, but you can totally tell if they're not putting in effort, right? If you feel like you're putting in all the work in the relationship, you're totally going to be able to tell that. Now, for example, like some people will gift, we'll just use iPhone because I have an iPhone in front of me. We'll give somebody an iPhone and now they expect to get maybe something in return that's similar in value, or and another iPhone, right? And I'm talking about that in everything, not just like material stuff. Like, I did this for this person, so now they are required to give me this. That has to be no. You gave them that because that's how you felt at the time. Don't be expecting and then using it later on against them. Be like, I did this, I did no. Then you shouldn't have done that in the first place. If you were just going to use it in their face, so many people do that. I did this, I did this. That's why I had the conversation with my little brother a while back ago, because he was telling me like, I did all this and this for my ex, and I was like, okay, but that's fine that you did that, but you can't be expecting her. You can't be saying I did this for you, and so now you're supposed to be appreciative. Now you're supposed to be lenient, or maybe now you're supposed to listen to me. No, you did it because that's how you felt at the time, and you did it. Don't be using it against them in the future, and if they don't want to like. It clearly shows that they're not interested, maybe, or whatever the case, but never use something and rub it in their face. Energy and effort should be something that you want to do, and energy and effort comes in a bunch of different ways. And again, I'm not saying if they telling you that they're going to put in energy and effort, that's a different story, because again, it's all talk. We're paying attention to actions here. What are they doing to actually do this? And if they put in a lot of energy and then it slowly starts fading, slowly starts changing, It could be that they might be losing a little bit of interest. And if it starts fading and fading and fading and fading and fading, then guess what? It's something happened. They're losing interest. Maybe they found somebody else. Maybe they were just interested. Like it was lust wearing off. The puppy love phase is wearing off, and that happens. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you guys may be great at January 2025. Now August, 8 months in. How we feeling? How we looking now? Okay. Is it still the same energy? Because that puppy love and that honeymoon phase wears off after a while. I'll tell you that right now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just take a lot of things, what people say, with a grain of salt. The next one that I have is respect. Even in disagreements, do you still feel respected? Name calling, dismissiveness, or belittling, toxic sign. Mutual respect, healthy sign. I've said it before. Say you have an argument month one. It's going to be cute. It's going to be funny. You guys are going to talk about it. No disrespect. Maybe there is. Huge red flag. But if it gets to the point where I know some people who would fight each other when they would argue. And I'm like, y'all need to fucking separate. Like, are you guys name calling? Okay. Are you guys being dismissive on that person's feelings? Or are they being dismissive on your feelings? Are you belittling their feelings or like having very little respect for them? Okay. So you need to pay attention to this. Because somebody who respects you is going to continue to respect you. You give respect, you get respect, basically in almost anything. Even in workplaces, like you give respect, they give you respect too, because they'll see it. So it totally depends on your guys' situation. If you've been dating, again, we're basing everything this year on from the beginning of the year to now. Whether that you're 2 months in, 3 months in, 6 months in, 8 months in, or you're 3 years talking to this person and 8 months in 2025. Like, where's the relationship at? How is the respect? Because this fits for everybody. Okay. It's not just like, oh, this is just new relationships in 2020. No, this is, let's evaluate your current relationship. So do you guys still have respect, or are they constantly disrespecting you? Right? Because that disrespect, they clearly have no respect for you, and they're going to continue to do it. Okay. So the next one that I have is conflict resolution. Do fights lead to growth, understanding, or just circles of blame? Couples who can fight fair and move forward last. Couples who stay stuck in the same argument are running out of road. Now, and people can argue just to argue, and they'll argue about the same shit over and over without no real resolution, no real like, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do, like actionable items. So, like if you tell something, that's why like some people get stuck in cycles. Like, you bring something up, they're like, I'm going to fix it. And then it goes right back to the same thing, which again, stuck in the same argumentative cycle. And until you realize like, hey, like there's actually nothing, because I was stuck in that cycle before too. She would be like, oh, like this is a problem. This is a problem. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. Things would change for like a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then just go right back to the same thing. There was no real, like, it was just so easy to be like, oh, no, don't worry. I'm going to change. Like, we're going to make this work. We're going to make this work. But no actual, hey, like, all right, so like, this is what's going, like, this is what we need to do. And even the other person giving you like the steps, hey, this is what we need to do, or this is not going to work out. You just telling me that you're going to make it work. You said that the past 2 times we'd had this argument and nothing has been done. So I'm going to need X, Y, and Z from you. And if not, this probably ain't going to work out. Sometimes you got to lay it out like that. But that's having some conflict resolution, or even if having healthy argument. Again, no relationship is perfect. People have arguments. People argue with each other. People have fights. But it's, hey, this is what we fought about. This is what we argued about. This is how we're going to fix it. Simple as that. Actual steps, actual actionable items, not just, oh yeah, I'll make sure it doesn't happen. Oh yeah, and maybe is the case. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'll make this happen. But do you see that progress, or do you see those things happening over time? Again, you can't pay attention to something that happened a week in, 2 weeks in, like 3 weeks later. Are they still the same? 4 weeks, a month later. Like, say you guys had an argument in January. Are you guys still having that same argument in August? Like, pay attention to that. So that's one thing that to pay attention about the conflict resolution, because without conflict resolution, you guys just have conflict over and over. And I'm sure you've had arguments and you continue to have arguments about the same shit. So that's why like revenge cheating won't work, because that's not conflict resolution. Now, being petty, whoever revenge cheated is going to be like, that's why I cheated on you. Or that's why, that's why like I hooked up with your boy. That's why I did this X, Y, and Z. So that's why you need to like, no revenge. Like, it just leads to more conflict. So that's why I don't think I would be able to be with somebody who has done something like that, because it could be like a petty shot and, it could lead to bigger things, because like a bigger fight. And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm sure everybody has been in an argument where you just started saying petty shit against each other, right? And then afterwards, you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. Or damn, like that actually did more harm to the relationship than I thought it was going to do. I don't know why at the time I thought it was a good idea to bring it up, just because I wanted to I really wanted to poke at them, hurt their feelings. But instead, just hurting it hurt their feelings, but it also hurt the entire relationship. It stained it bad, right? So that's why, like, pay attention to those things. Are you guys being able to resolve conflicts? And maybe you guys were in the beginning. So again, that's why I'm saying like this podcast is just for everybody in relationships. 3 years into a relationship, maybe you guys are great at conflict resolution, and then something just happened. Maybe you guys got comfortable. Maybe you guys just keep fighting about the same things. Maybe you guys are growing apart. This year, how has your conflict resolution been? Because again, like I said, no relationship is perfect. Things happen. People argue. And so, but have you guys continued to be able to conflict resolute whatever it is your guys is, like whatever the argument is? So the next one I have is, this would probably be number 2. Next, communication. Intimacy and connection. Physical, emotion, and mental intimacy matter. If the affection and the attraction are alive, strong foundation. If you guys are more like just roommates than partners, then kind of a red flag, no? Intimacy is a huge part in a relationship, even though people are like, it's not about sex. Yes, it is, okay? I'm not saying the relationship is built in around sex, but if the sex sucks, or if there's no sex, the relationship is going to struggle. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are listening to this are going to say, yes, my man doesn't even give it to me. I get it. There was a question that came in the other day. I screenshot it. I need to answer it. It said that, is it okay that he says it's okay that we only have sex every 3 weeks or something. I can't remember it correctly. I don't want to look for it right now, because then I'll just sit here and look for it. But it was something along those lines. And no, it doesn't matter how long you've been with your partner. It should be at least bare minimum, at least a couple times a week. At least you can muster out a quickie, and then something maybe a little bit longer, at least twice a week. Even if you have kids, there's ways to figure it out. You guys sleep in the same bed, right? Okay. Kids go to school, right? Or they're at their nanny at one point. You guys got a quick 15 minutes, a quick 10 minutes. Keep that alive. Keep that intimacy alive. And then say you guys have date night. Say on Saturday night, it's your guys' date night. You take the kids with the grandparents if you have kids, or you pay for a sitter. Don't be afraid paying a few dollars for, which is going to be like, what, $50, $60 to have a teenager watch your kids for a few hours while you go and spend some quality time with your person is going to be worth it. And then maybe get a quickie in the car, or maybe if you take the kids over to their place, go home real quick, knock one out, or you guys don't even, your date night is coming back home and just smashing like crazy. And then you go and pick up the kids, but you had told them, hey, we're going to go to dinner. uh, with the grandparents, a family member, friends, like somebody, right? You guys can make it work. I know people who have date nights and continue to have date nights, which works out for their relationship. What they do they get spicy? Probably. I don't know. I'm not asking them those questions, but it should be something that should be included. So again, it doesn't matter how long you've been with somebody. Intimacy should be you bare minimum, because I know life happens. People work, especially if you're working, they're working. Then you have kids involved, and then you have maybe the husband is working 2 jobs, but you guys can knock out twice a week minimum. Bare minimum. If you could every day, then that's fine. A quick quickie every day. Trust me, your girl gonna be satisfied. But it comes down to, like, there's some people who start having issues down there, can't get it up, but they don't want to do anything about it. And so now they go years. There's people who are in the comments, not comments, but the live. If you haven't joined my TikTok lives or Instagram lives, join them. Some people went like, there was the 20 years without being intimate with their partner. 20, you want that to be you? You're basically roommates at that time that don't do anything. And it can, obviously, lack of intimacy. Sometimes people go looking for it somewhere else, even when you're in that relationship. So pay attention to your guys' intimacy. Don't let it completely evaporate from your guys' relationship. Again, I know life happens. Trust me. People get busy. You got kids. You got things. Maybe you travel a lot for work. But at least twice a week, or if you're traveling for work, you can make it work the days that you're back. Hey, I'm gone for like 2-3 weeks, but then I come back. There's people who work the oil fields. Okay, makes sense. At least keep it spicy. Be sending shit to each other, okay? So, but intimacy and your connection, how is that now? Whether you started the relationship earlier this year or sometime this year, how is it from when it began to now? And then if you've been in a longer relationship, how was it? So, like, say you're in a relationship for 2 years. Pay attention to January. Don't pay attention to the beginning. Because, of course, in the beginning, I'm sure it was great. Fabulous. You guys were smashing like 5 times a day. But from January, if you've been together for more than a year in a relationship, and this is like adding to another year or whatever the case, you know what I'm talking about. But 2025, and we're taking from January to August. How has your intimacy level and your connection been with your partner? Okay. I don't care if you've been with your partner for 10 years. How has it been in January or in 2025? Is there spice there? Don't tell me. I don't want to hear it saying that you guys haven't even hooked up this year, because that's a huge red flag. Huge thing that you should have been brought up and talked about. Okay. Because that just leads to more and more separation. And then sometimes you get to the point where there's, the point of no return, where there is nothing you can do to fix the relationship. It's already, somebody may have fell out of love. You guys have drifted so far apart that there's no, and that's what happened with my ex and I, because we tried implementing things later on after, we realized it wasn't, a lot of stuff was not working. But we were so drifted apart that there was no fixing it, right? And at the time, I wasn't mature enough to know that. But now, looking back, after you've grown and learned, been in different relationships, you learn that it got to a point where I didn't want to try anymore. To be 100% honest, I just was done. I didn't want to do it anymore. Like, I didn't have that feeling to do it anymore. I didn't want to. I wasn't motivated to do it. It was just more of like we're just here. So, and it shouldn't feel like that. Absolutely not at all. So that's why I'm glad that nowadays we have stuff like this, and people listen to the thousands of people, huge, blessed, thousands of people who listen to the podcast. Still crazy to me that you need to make sure that doesn't go away, because now I'm able to share my stories. I'm able to share other people's stories and let you know that that's not normal. If you're in a relationship right now and that's going on, it's not normal. It's not okay. There's bigger bigger issues that are just around the corner. You just don't see them yet. You think that eventually, like, it's a crazy bumpy road right now. People, for some reason, girls, especially, we talked about it on the live. Don't come after me. A lot of girls assume things are going to fix out. And that's the problem. You assume instead of bringing things up, talking about things, you need to talk about it. Not just assume things are going to change. Things out of nowhere, he's just going to be like, all right, I went from not having intimacy to like, we're back at it once a week. Or not once a week, once a day. So don't let yourself get too drifted apart, because you could be still in a place where things could get fixed and worked out. Or maybe this is a sign showing you that it might be a little too late to do it. And now looking back, it was too late for me. At the time, I didn't think it, like, I was like, oh, let's do this. This is gonna work. No. At the time, how I was, and I'm sure how she was, there was no working that out anymore. We had drifted so far apart. So the next one that I have is support system. Do they hype you up, support your goals, and ride with you through ups and downs? If you feel more drained than uplifted, the partnership might be one-sided. And whenever you're doing something, your partner should be supporting it. I want to be the best kickball player. I'd be like, hell yeah. I want to be the best YMCA like sign holder, whatever. I'd be like, girl, you got it. Like, whatever you do, your person should support whatever it is that you're trying to do, your goals, your hobbies, your like whatever it is, it is, they should be your biggest hype person. They should be like, hell yeah, let's do it. Boom. What do you need? Boom, boom, boom. I'll share it with my friends. You need business, like, and something about me, I love it when people start businesses. I don't know why. I love it when people start businesses, just because I'll try to help wherever I can. I'm not going to be your freaking lifeline. Like, if you start a clothing company, if I like the clothes, I'll buy something. Or if it's girl clothes, if I'm with somebody, I'll buy something for them, or somebody as a gift, something for a gift, share it on my stories, do something where I can help that way. There's Riley, Heath's son, the guy that I work for. He started a car detailing business, and I keep my car spotless clean for the most part. But I was able to like hire him to clean somebody else's car, right? Because I'm like, I love this. Let me help your business, right? And then that's how, that's how you show support. Even if you can't use their service, like say they sell makeup, I can't use makeup. Or maybe I don't really like to, and that's another thing, I don't like to buy makeup for a girl, because they all be buying some different shit. I would rather do a gift card, and then like, but I would share, I could do, if you did gift cards, I could buy a gift card and give it to somebody, right? Or I can help just by like liking your post, sharing your stuff, like just something that's gonna kind of help. Because like when somebody starts a business, like a business page, they don't get very many likes or very many follows. So, and if I see somebody starts like a podcast or something, I'm like, oh shit, go check them out. Whatever I can do to give them a little bit of help, right? And so I'm always down to help. So, and especially with my partner, like if whatever they want to do, I got your back, girl. All right. So the next one that I have is growth. Are you both growing as individuals and as a couple? Stagnation and resistance to change relationship, means the relationship is stuck. Growth together, relationship is thriving. And that's what I mean. Like, how are your guys' goals together? Like, what do you guys, are you with somebody who's like you? Like if you're comfortable just living the basic, like how everybody else does, and your partner's like that, you guys are going to mesh together like perfectly. Or if you're into somebody who likes to continue to grow, myself, like whatever it is, like always doing stuff to try to grow, try to, like career-wise, as a person, as like, and just in different areas in my life, I like to continue to grow, and I like to feel like I'm growing, okay? And so I don't want to be with somebody where I'm going to feel like it's holding me back, because I've been there before, and it fucking sucks. It's draining. Uh, like you feel like you're not doing, like me when I'm not doing anything, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Like I had gone to sleep late last night, so I was fucking tired today. And so I ended up sleeping in a little bit longer than I usual and then just like relaxing. When your eyes feel super fucking heavy. And now that I'm up recording the podcast, I'm just like, damn, this feels great. But I feel like I wasted the entire morning. You know what I mean? Morning, day, just because I was just like out of it, right? So, but now I feel fucking great, but I don't want to feel like that with because it happens. Sometimes you go to sleep late. Sometimes things happen. Last night, went to go get a few drinks. It was fun, had a great time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's fine. It happens. Do I live like that all the time? No. Would I want to be with somebody who is like that holds me back? No. I had a conversation with Trayson, who's another son of Heath, and this is a great example. He's going to school right now at BYU, and he was talking about how he was sharing a room with somebody. Like he had a roommate in the same room, right? They have a house or something like that, and he was sharing his room, like they were splitting the rent or whatever the case, right? But he said that this guy would sleep in until like 11, 12. Normally, Trayson is not like that. But he said because he was like that it almost made him feel okay. Like, oh, well, he's going to be asleep for another little while. I'll be asleep for another little while. It'll be fine. That way, we're not in each other's way. That's what happens when you're with somebody who is different than you. Like, you slowly start becoming like them. Instead of like if one person is not willing to grow and the other person is, Trayson's like a hard worker, straight A student. Like he was talking to me about his papers and great, freaking smart as fuck, right? But this person was kind of like holding him back a little bit, right? And it wasn't a girl. It was just like, again, he had a roommate because they were splitting a room. So, but this can happen in relationships. So that's what I mean. Like it can happen in relationships. It can happen not in relationships. The people that surround you is how you're going to start acting, how you're going to start being. If you're with a group people who just love to party, yes, I'm calling you fucking guys out, guys and girls. If you're in a circle with all you guys do is like to go out and party, then guess what? Say you're like the hard worker and all of a sudden you surround yourself with like a bunch of people who like to go out and party all the time. What are they going to invite you to go do? They're going to invite you to go out and party all the time. And so now you went from being very business minded or like hustling to like partying every weekend, and your hustling and business is not thriving because you're partying every weekend. So, but if you're surrounding yourself with people who are hustlers, grinders, like I like surrounding myself with people who love to do content because that just motivates me to do more content, So that's why like it's stuff like that. And I also want to be with somebody who's going to motivate me to do stuff like that too, support me. So definitely pay attention to your guys' growth and how you guys mesh with each other. The last one that I have is your gut feeling. Deep down, you already know if this is love or just... Oh, hold on. Let me read that again. Deep down, you already know if this is love or attachment. Your intuition usually whispers the truth before your mind admits to it, which is perfect. Perfectly said. Like a lot of the times where it was like, oh man, I had a gut feeling. I should have listened to it. What is your gut feeling saying? Because your gut feeling typically is usually not wrong. Okay. Again, it doesn't matter how long you've been in a relationship. I don't care if you've been in a relationship for 10 years. From January 2025 to August, what is your gut feeling telling you about your relationship? And be honest. The worst thing is you can be like, oh, we all right. No, really, where are we struggling in our relationship? What do we need to work on? Have we been working on? Have we even been intimate this year? Like, have we even done anything like that? When's the last time we had date nights? Pay attention to all this stuff, because if you don't, you're just assuming that things are going to get better or change eventually. So trust your gut feeling, because usually it tells you, the truth. And then, and your intuition, like it says, it usually knows the truth before you can come into your own mind that this is what's going on, right? There's some people who have an intuition like, damn, I really feel like this person is cheating. They're doing this, this, and this. Or maybe I caught a little of this, but I didn't really see anything until you finally see it. And now your mind is like, yep, they're cheating. Right? Or, oh, they're acting like this. Oh, like, why are they so distant? Like, I'm getting this and this. And then later on, you find out they have somebody else, So pay attention to that. Or, like, not even cheating wise. Does your intuition, does your gut feeling tell you that this relationship is not doing so hot right now? You guys haven't been intimate in a while. You guys don't even communicate in a while. You guys just sit and argue all the time. Like, what is your gut feeling and your intuition telling you? Is your intuition telling you it might be time to go? Maybe your intuition is saying, like, I need to say something because clearly nothing has changed. Nothing is changing. And if you don't say anything, it's going to continue to be the same. So you really need to pay attention. That's why I love doing this podcast. That's why I love doing the TikToks, because we actually sit here and we get to dissect and think. When I do the podcast, trust me, my mind is going 100 miles an hour and thinking about things too. That's why it's very therapeutic for myself. And I'm sure it's therapeutic for the people who listen to it, because you start thinking. When I say certain things, that first thing that pops into your head, that's the answer. That's what's going on. That's the problem. That's why I like doing that other game. I didn't do it today, but the how deep will you go? You usually ask a question, and then that first thing that pops into your head, that's the end. That's why I don't like telling people the questions beforehand when I do them. Just boom. Because it's crazy how the body and your mind works. When you hear something, instantly in your head, you start thinking of it, and it's going to be different for everybody. When I said trust issues, boom, my man cheated on me so many times. I have a biggest trust issue. Oh, boom, I feel like my man is cheating on me because like I've caught him talking to other girls, like stuff like that, instantly go into your head. And that's why I love doing these, because the podcast has been doing amazing. And that's because we give great information, and I get great information from you guys too. I use stories that you guys give me all the time too. So trust me, it's not that just like I'm winging it somehow. I get information from a bunch of different people, like stories, like the whole Trayson, Heath's sons and stuff like that, like how I use that into this podcast. Like you guys help me and I'm able to help you guys, but you have to be willing to help yourself too. If you feel like your relationship is struggling, and especially if you take only into account how your relationship has been from these past 8 months, because it should clearly tell you how the relationship is going. Whether if you just started a few months ago, where's your relationship a few months ago and now? If you started in January, where is it January and now? If you started 10 years ago, okay, cool. But how is it from January until now? And I'll do another check-in the end of the year too. But I just want to do a little halfway point. That way we can see what's going on and you can start making those tough decisions, because guess what? Christmas is coming around the corner. That way you don't have to buy those gifts. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for listening, always tuning in every week. I like to keep the podcast nice and short, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We're close to like 45 minutes right now. And that's because I want you to be able to listen to it on your way to work, on a lunch break or something like that. Those 3-hour ones, only if I have a guest, I'll do something a little bit longer. Usually when I have guests, they go from like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. But just me hear something quick that way. Because most of the time when I listen to a podcast and it's long, I usually don't go back to it. I give it one listen, and I get to whatever point, and then that's it. It's very rare for me to go back to that same podcast episode. So that's why I was like, I want to keep them 30 minutes, 35 minutes, something nice and digestible. Lunch break, on your commute to work, commute home from work, at the gym. I like to listen to podcasts or, audiobooks when I'm running long distances, because it just helps me. But thank you guys again for listening. NaughtyScience.com if you guys want to get stuff. Shout out to everyone who has and continues to purchase stuff from NaughtyScience.com. I'm trying to make intimacy spicy for the both of y'all, men and women. And I want guys, shout out to the guys who also order stuff. I salute y'all, okay? Because I know it might be a little bit difficult, maybe a little bit scary to get something because you might feel a type of way, but it's okay. It's fine. We'll be fine. I'll see you guys later.
What's inside of me, can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been, it's about where I'm meant to be. I be shining perfect timing. Check your watch, and I know who I am.